Hello, I am Henry. I am a Brazilian programmer. Got a background in AI development, optimization. I've done fair share of projects. I've been working on my own game as well. I am responsible in the Kalyskah project on optimization, systems, in-house systems, general cleanup, and some other tidbits here and there, including tools for the rest of the team. Right now, for the next release, the next big release, what we're trying to do is refurbish the entire way the project is handling AI and data overall. It is a project that has been started a long time ago, so it has grown with the team's capabilities as it went along. I've been hired to do this cleanup and put it into industry standards. Here's the one example of one of the systems I am working on. Before this, and this is why we had to rework the entire world. Our world was one massive level with everything loaded at the same time. The LODs weren't being used to their full potential. We didn't have a lot of hierarchical LODs and a lot of other tools that the Unreal Engine gives us towards performance. So our first step here is this is the dev level where it does things. I'm not gonna give you guys any snippets yet. That is with the lead, the project lead. So in here you can see that we have a segmented map, which is using the system for Unreal 4.28, which is the open world system, giving us control of what levels go where, when are they far away, if they're far away, if they switch to a different lot or completely unload, which is amazing, but it brings us to a problem where the old AI was never aware if a level was there or not. So if we could, for example, unload one of these levels here, and if the AI was on it, it would just fall down because the geometry just went away. The AI didn't recognize that. This system that I'm working on right now, basically what it does is this level gets unloaded. The AI that's sitting there will detect it. They will save their last position and abstract their data into the manager. If they have a schedule, the manager will update their positions where they should be. If they are wandering, they will, when you come back, depending on the time of day or how long it's been since you've been there, they will be in different positions. But the main goal of this is first to avoid them falling off the map, avoid causing glitches and performance issues. Because what we had before is you are in Kelhold and the NPCs in Millhaven are still active, wandering about, doing their things, when it doesn't really matter to the player. They're not within eyesight, they're not even within logical range to be functioning, but yet they did. This will help a lot of players with CPU issues. We will probably bring our CPU requirement way down. And at the same time, will help a lot with people with graphic cards issues as well, because the most detailed mesh you get in the video game, it is the mesh of the humanoids. They are usually anywhere between 20,000 vertices to 50, 100,000 vertices, depending on the level of detail that the project has. We've also introduced LODs, 7 LODs for human bodies, meaning that you will see a significant upgrade in performance, especially in the cities where there's a lot of them walking around. And this system, it will be tweaked as we go along towards the next release. It should be fully working on the final release when you guys get the whole refurbished game. Other things that I've been working on are some systems to help level development. One of them is the Clutter Manager, which lets the level designer, for example, pick an area where he needs clutter. This is the first revision. I will be adding more to it. How much clutter? Let's go crazy, because there's one special thing that we do here as well is pick the pebble and the rotation deviation. Let's put it at 180 on everything except the Z, which we'll put to 360. Constant scale, yes, please. And we click generate clutter. Now you can see that we have 500 new pebbles here, which usually are horrible. Like, oh my God, you just loaded 500 pebbles. What are you trying to do, kill my computer? No, These are an instant static mesh that we made. We modified the default instant static mesh that the engine uses so that all these guys are using the same material. They are 500 rocks, but they only use the same material and the same texture set loaded into your memory, and they are calculated spatially based on the same reference point that leads to less computational data being sent to the GPU, meaning these guys are not going to lag you as bad as 500 individual static meshes placed down, and they become an object on their own that you can play around with. This is basically for performance and because it makes life easier. I will be expanding upon this to detect the normal of the terrain and do variations of clutter, like a set, an array of different clutter. But this is a system I've always loved. I've used it in my previous game as well. It is a super handy tool. Another thing we were missing for the level designers is in the ability to cover large patches of areas for the level with just one object. Because when you're doing a level design, you can indeed, if you need the uniqueness of it, fill the little areas with static meshes. But if you have a flat floor, that is going to be the same from start to end, and the only thing you're going to change in it is some dirt here and there. You can use for the dirt, you can use decals, which is a lot more efficient than messing with the material. And now, well, we couldn't do it before because, let me give you an example, it'll be easier. Let's grab a cube, and yes, please, if I grab a random material here, like this guy, and you will see once the CPU is done that I will scale it and it will stretch like so. It will stretch. It is not going along with it, making the designer's life impossible to handle this. The designer would have to copy the cube over and over, causing z-fighting in some points. And even if you use the grid lock, sometimes it leaves a seam in between. That's something you can catch in a lot of bad level designs. You see seams or z-fighting in the map, which is really not good to have. It's a visual glitch. It takes the player away from the immersion. So now what I did is I made a six-planar depth of field, six-planar material with some different options and calculating differently based on the scale of the object we've got. So if I go here, for example, and I'll just grab, actually I think I put it here. Let's grab these bricks here. So now we've got these bricks. They are perfectly fine. Now, usually it would stretch along, but now it fits to the size of the cube, no matter what you do with it. It will keep fitting and vertically, horizontally. So now if the designer needs an area covered with this, just this pattern, they have it at their disposal. It is there. There's a bunch of different options inside the material function as well. They did a quick test with Desolation as well. I don't remember which one is it. This one. I think this one works with Desolation. I can't quite see it. Well, I guess because the object is too big. Which we are already using these systems on the new map, and the secret we got hidden for you guys. We're already using all these systems. These are things that are hopefully going to help the team move faster. Another thing we've added this week, actually, was, if I go back to tech folder, is the character design tools so that the story writers can have a better time at designing their characters, give them uniqueness, which I made a previous video earlier. And you can use this to, oops, no nudity, hide it. Let me hide it. Okay. So now, for example, if I select this fellow here, it gives us more control over their appearance overall. This will not be available to the players, not to this extent. We might make a lighter version for the players because the main character has a pretty fine look that she's supposed to bear. So this will be an in-house system. We will see what else we can do gameplay-wise with this, but so far this is mainly for the team. I am going to end this here for now. If you guys have any questions, check the Discord, talk to the team. We're always here for you guys. Have a good one.